moves on to Ontario, California. And with the strongest field yet this season, the competition was literally blowing up. Australian Cesar Mora, Matt Salerno, Shane Yost, the Yasutoko brothers from Japan, strong veterans and rookies alike, put it all on the line, and the judges had to sort it all out. It's stop 5 from Ontario, California.
Hi, my name's Cesar, and on today's show we're going to talk about judging. And you all know that I've had a lot of conflict of opinions with judges over the past few years. But what it's done for my skating, personally, is it's made me an all-round better skater. It's lifted my skating. And I think it's lifted skating in general, the progression of our sport. And today we're going to get to know some of the judges and get to know how they think and why they do what they do. That was pretty good.
My name's Ethan Jenkin, and when I'm judging, I'm just looking for innovation and consistency.
I like people who hold a ramp presence, people who go high, people who are exciting to watch. That's what I look for.
I look for people that are pushing the sport in different and unique directions.
I usually look for a lot of style.
Look for power and style.
Still at 56. No. Oh, hang on for 1 second. The judging system works like this. 4 categories: style, creativity, consistency, and difficulty. This year, however, I'm focusing on something a little different, and it's called bribery. I need the money.
Ever so serious, the judges. Each skater here gets 2 50-second runs. Only the better one counts. As the final run score, Eito Yasutoko already has made his mark this year with the first win in Lake Havasu.
That's right. Eito hasn't slowed down since his victory in the X Games last year. Really has emerged into top skater on tour. He's the one everybody's gunning for. You see him hugging that 1080, trying to raise the stakes even yet here in the finals.
Nobody yet landed that 1080 flat spin. Younger brother Takeshi Yasutoko, he's been going just about bigger than anybody else out here.
Those guys really have been battling each other of late, always battling for those top 2 spots. Matt Salerno, an Australian, trying to stay off this Japanese threat. Matt's got such a huge arsenal of tricks. He's got the lip tricks, the airs, as he goes fakie bio 540, straight into the zero spin backside royale.
Making a huge commitment this year, moving to Orange County for the entire season. Shane Yost, the Tasmanian Devil, because of the big spins he's known for, actually changed his lineup pretty dramatically in Ontario.
Yeah, look at this. He starts out with a 360 into the ramp. That's pretty unique. And then straight into the true spin Elliot Mizu. Different line from Shane Yost. Like the spirit of that. And then usually where he's most consistent, where we expect to see him, that forward 900, and then he goes down. Uncharacteristic of Shane, but remember, only the better of 2 runs counts in the finals.
All the big guns are here. We'll be back with more of round 1 after this.
The ASA Pro Tour is brought to you by L2 Jeans, altitude tested by Team L2. By Slim Jim, when you need a little excitement, snap into a beefy, spicy Slim Jim. And for the latest on skating, check out asascape.com. Feed your habit.
I think Ontario Mills Mall is one of the biggest shopping mall I ever saw.
Wow, it's a pretty crazy place. I like it how they've mixed up the themes instead of being like a traditional sort of flat, square, white mall.
You don't have these malls back in Europe, so we got to spend the money here.
Okay, we're here at GameWorks, Ontario Mills Mall, and all the skaters are inside where the real competition is. Let's go check it out.
Little cross-training from GameWorks. Now it's time to learn some new tricks with Fabiola.
Oi, meu nome é Fabiola da Silva e hoje vamos aprender como fazer o pony start. Basically, just go towards the coping. You approach the coping with your sole foot, and your back foot, you just put it behind your sole foot and just go forward or alley-oop if you want to, and just slide the whole way. My favorite trick to do is the topside porn star. Basically, just go towards the ramp, turn your body to 70 degrees, and with your top toe foot, you put it on front, and your back foot on the back, and just slide like going like backwards. And then when you're done, just 180, or just go forward, do whatever you want. 180 or 270 off. It's fun. Oi, gente, divirta-se tentando suas variações, qualquer, se vocês quiserem, e te vejo da próxima vez. Tchau.
In the hip-hop world, a hater is someone who sees someone else who's doing what they would maybe like to do, or sees someone who's better than they are, and kind of messes up their game, or in other words, hates on them.
I guess the reason why skaters call the judges haters is, you know, sometimes they think that they've skated better than they should have, and they tend to like call them something because it's like, you know, a venting of frustration, I guess, in a way.
People can call them haters, yeah, definitely. But at the same time, you put yourself in that position as being a judge yourself, and it's one of the hardest jobs I've ever been in.
Whatever. I don't really... I just skate. I don't care.
Sometimes they call us haters. We're the judges. We're the jury. So a lot of different names thrown around. Basically, we try to look at a very subjective sport and make heads or tails of it. I think we do a pretty good job.
Amen to that. They've also been known as the Style Council, or even the Style Mafia. Here from Ontario Mills, we're in the middle of round one, and Tobias Bucher, at only 14 years old.
We talk a lot about the classic battle between the Australians and now the Japanese, but also Europe's making pretty strong showing these days with young guns like this. Tobias Bucher, huge style. Like Takeshi, only 13 years old. Tobias is only 14. These young guys really are pushing the limits. Tobias coming out of Stuttgart, Germany. See him going upside down that 720, grabbing it stale. Straight into the fakie 900, linking his tricks together very well.
Judges like to see that. Sven Bokerst, he's one who's sort of difficult to judge because the way he spins, it's almost like he's understated. And where people really take notice is on the coping.
Exactly. If Sven's going to win a vert competition, it's got to be on the coping. He's got good airs. We saw him do the abstract 720, but right there is what people expect to see from Sven. He went alley-oop fishbrain, and there, alley-oop topside porn star, spinning true spin into it for added difficulty.
That difficulty gets rewarded by the judges. He's right now in a tie for third. Yasu Toko's sitting first and second. But up next, it's Cesar Mora, the #1 ranked vert skater in the world, with his ranking hanging in the balance. We'll see more of him when we come back. Yeah, things are getting crazy here. It's the middle of round one from Ontario, California, on the vert ramp.
I guess I was scared of being rejected. Said you were so nice. Why would I be sick?
There was a couple of years there where skating started to go in a different direction, and Cessa was the only skater who saw it a different way and didn't agree with the way skating was going, and he stuck with what he was doing, which was going high, doing big spins, and just doing what he wanted to do. And now it's come full circle, and vert skating is back to where it should be, which is Cessa Mora skating, going 10 feet high, doing huge spins and mixing everything together, complete runs, and Cessa Mora is the epitome of that.
Cessa is amazing. I mean, he does everything 8 feet out, a huge variety of different tricks. Spinning, the style of his spins are unlike anybody else's. I mean, he grabs it and actually holds it throughout the whole spin, which is amazing to watch. During everybody's run, Cessa's down there cheering him on, which is really cool to see. I mean, he's not only winning the contest, but he's like cheering for people, and he's sincere. He's sincere about it.
Defeat these clones. Wanna demonstrate gravity when falling off the microphone. Just cavities get cracked in while I'm back handed over.
Basically, I haven't been skating any vert at all since the finals last year. Like 5 months now, I've skated about 4 times because they've taken all the ramps down in Sydney, and it's just a pain in the ass to go anywhere and skate. So I've been skating a bit of street course at Vertex in Sydney, and running, playing soccer. I just love the ball. I love juggling it. It's in my blood. It's good exercise, and it's my passion. Started going to the gym to strengthen my shoulders, and just got into it. And it's a form of discipline. I mean, if you can stick at it, if you can go to the gym and do a good hard workout every second day, you become mentally tough as well, because you become disciplined. So I like going to the gym, and there's no training program. It's just I just keep fit. I'm home about 6-7 months of the year, and I try to spend as much time with my girlfriend as I can. I like driving my car. It's just fun for me. I don't know. I like cars. I always like cars, and now I can afford to have the car that I really like, and it's just a lot of fun driving around. I live in a nice area. Sydney's really cool place. There's nothing special about it. It's just a really nice place to be. I think touring helps the sport in the way that it gets to the masses. People get to, when we went to Boulder, Colorado last year, it was the best stop of the whole year. And the people there were so happy to have us there, and they hadn't seen the ASA there before, and people were super nice. And I think touring helps these little towns or cities that never know about skating, really, because you can't skate there, understand what we're about and what we do and how we make a living. Everyone's different in every city. Every state we go to, everyone's different. So I'm a lot more open-minded now that I started skating and traveling the world. Touring takes its toll as far as being at home and the people you love missing you, and being away from the ones you love. You just miss it. It's hard when you're on the road. You got to concentrate on certain things, and you sort of got to block out, the people you miss, the things you miss. You got to block it out. Yeah. Pretty much achieved everything a vert skater can achieve in my career, as far as winning whatever. And what I want to do now is just take vert skating. What I've always tried to do is take vert skating to where I think it should be. Big spins, big airs, long grinds, mixing it all up. You don't see it very often. Every single air is just totally emphasized and theatrical almost. When I'm finished skating, I want people to talk about me as I was an innovator, I was unique, I was different, I always tried my own thing. We on that hip hop tip. I forget what we were talking about.
So uncompromising in the way he skates. That's why he's earned the moniker King of Vert. Check out the concentration here. He wants to do well because he knows that if he doesn't do as well as Eito Yasutoko today, there's going to be a new #1.
We almost take it for granted that Cesar Mora is ranked #1, or that he's going to be ranked #1 coming into each event. He's been there so long. Look at him blasting off those airs. But for the first time, you're right, Mark, that ranking is in jeopardy. He knows what he's got to do. He's got to beat Eito out here today if he's going to hold on to that #1 spot. Nothing less.
Both Yasutokos have been putting a lot of pressure on, coming out, doing so well in every single event. Cesar knows that he's got to put a picture-perfect line together. Some new tricks.
Topside acid from Cesar Mora. It's funny, when we think about new tricks, we think, they're going to do a bigger spin. It's going to be a 1260 or something. But Cesar Mora, he's always had the spins. It's exciting to see a new lip trick from him. He went topside acid. And now mixing it up, this is a pretty good first run. He's got all the elements in it. Continues to mix it up on the copings. He goes backside royale, 360, and then a backflip to finish it off.
It's kind of funny seeing a backflip coming out of Cesar Mora at coping.
Right.
The guy who popularized them. Check this out. It's new. Topside acid being rewarded for his progression. Cesar Mora with an 84. He bumps up into first place after 1.
Hi, Eito です。安岡大志です。今あなたが見ているのはASAオンタリオです。
Look on as we begin the second round of competition. It's only the better of 2 runs that count here in the final. Takeshi Yasutoko sits right now in second place, needs an 84.25 to take the lead. That is well within his grasp.
Takeshi Yasutoko was second after the first round. Coming out strong here in the second round, blasting off those high airs to start out, and 3 grab variation in that one air, grabbing each one, getting definition out of it, and then going upside down. It's a new trick for him this year. We've seen it a few times. Straight into the forward 900. linking them all, Mark.
Yeah, if you looked at the 900, he actually reached down and grabbed it on his way down. That's something new for Takeshi. He's had some trouble in the last couple of years really not defining his airs. He's been doing a lot more this year.
Not only Takeshi, but all these guys at the top level. We've seen this proliferation of huge spins in the last couple of years, the 900s, the 1080s. Now we're starting to see them all get more style into them. Oh, and Takeshi mixing it up on the coping, get a triple variation there as he goes backside, drop sole to backslide. I like what Takeshi's doing here, raising it in the second round, getting the most out of every air as he finishes it off with a bizarre mid-vert 360. Don't know exactly what that was.
Little alley-oop style. Now here, the big method, transferring over 3 panels, good height and distance, 83.50, not good enough to put him in first.
Judging's difficult. It doesn't matter if it's someone who you don't even know or someone you respect or someone you know very well. Being a business owner and having people that are involved in our business and judging them, often we are looked upon as, you know, there's going to be bias.
Rollerblading, to me, is such a free sport, and it's a self-expression of how you want the sport to look. So having somebody else judge that and say, hey, this guy's better than this guy, or this guy's interpretation of rollerblading is better than this guy's, is controversial. You know, it's kind of an issue and it's very personal. But at the same time, a competition is a competition, and there's got to be a way to define, you know, who wins.
Well, when you're out here and you're looking at 30 different runs, 30, 40 different runs, all these guys, you know, pushing it, doing their best, and you got to sit there and look at each run individually and try to place these guys in the correct order. It's almost an impossible task, to be honest with you, but, you know, we do our best.
Difficult on any given day, even more difficult on a day like today when so many good skaters come out. Sam Fogarty's one of the most consistent in the world, one of the top ranked on street and vert, going for the Mizu, trying to switch it up to the kind grind. It makes it a lot easier, actually, for the judges when they go down.
Javier Bahanda, try not to go down in this run as he goes upside down with those signature 540s. Judo McTwist, just like Chris Edwards used to do him, and then tweaking back the mute on a 720.
The judges reward him, put him in 7th place.
Mike Budnick, the lone American hopeful out here in this international field, representing Irvine, California. Signature style for Mike Budnick, an upside down, holding the invert, sweat stance, and then finishing it off with something new or something that we don't see that often, 720.
Shane Yost definitely needed to improve. He was in 10th place going into his second round because of the big fall in the 900 McTwist. Check this out, though. Staying on his feet all the way around, getting sideways on the fakie 720, that bumped him up to 4th place. When we come back, it's the #1 ranked vert skater against the #2, Eito Yasutoko and Cesar Mora.
Tour is brought to you by Paul Mitchell, Professional Salon Products. Got a problem? See your hairstylist. By Naya, hungry for life, thirsty for Naya. And for the latest on skating, check out asaskate.com. Feed your habit.
Before we head back out to the 105-degree heat on the vert ramp, we're going to take it under the tents and look behind the scenes.
Matt Salerno, man, he hasn't been skating vert. You can see it in his run. Just said it best, you know. He didn't have the pop. He didn't have it, you know. But his tricks were good. His tricks were good.
He was fighting for height. Talent's still all there.
I thought that was a great placement for Javier.
8th place?
Yeah.
You think Mike should have beaten him?
Mike has solid runs, man. Mike's runs are good. He stalls his inverts. Nobody else does that, you know.
Javi was coming up on him, though.
Yeah, it was close.
I think the difference was the grinding, actually, because they both were throwing 720s. But when it came, I think it was actually the grinding.
I would say pound that Takeshi is the man. Weight ratio.
Weight ratio, I would say that as well. Eito was going for new things. He added on to his repertoire, and Cesar was trying to do that, but didn't quite. So it's like, it's right on the edge where it's like, if you land it, you're the hero. If you don't quite pull it together, you don't get that glory. And that's, in my eyes, what separated the two. They're both going for big stuff, but at the end, when you're looking at it, Eito landed a trick that he never landed before in his run at the end of the whole competition, and that kind of stuff just hypes it. It's like you want to see that person win. It just brings those points up just a little bit. They're both, you know, great skaters, but the story like unfolded where it's like, oh my God, he had to win.
Judging, I don't know, on vert, little disappointing to me. They judge vert like you have to be riding vert. We got skaters out here, Mike Bennett, Sean Robertson, Tyler Shields, Ryan Doss, Randy Marino, Jaron Grove, all these guys coming up that don't skate vert like they have a vert skater style. They skate it and add their own style to it. And that's what I think judges should be looking for, variety in styles.
Well, we need to have 30 of the top world-class athletes in one event and basically spend a whole entire day judging these guys and have to work out who's made the top 10. There's bound to be some mistake somewhere. If not, it's one of the hardest jobs in the world by far.
Everyone's got so many different styles and so many different types of tricks and things like that. It's almost an impossibility, so you kind of almost got to lay off the judges and to some respect.
It's the niggas.
Letting us know that his big brother is next. This event, a pretty amazing day. Like Ezekwe said, he was the one who pushed his skating further than anybody else's. It's fitting because with the win here, he also became the #1 ranked vert skater in the world.
We've seen a lot of great runs today, and when these guys are skating at this level, there's this many guys that are so good and having great runs. It really comes down to who pulls out something special, something extra. As you see Eito do the fabulous flat spin 720. We saw Cesar Mora, he did the topside acid. Eito right there does the alley fishbrain. All these guys are doing tricks that we're not used to seeing them doing. They're a little less consistent for them. But that's what you've got to do if you want to win a hotly contested battle like this. And it just so happened that at the end of the day, Eito's new trick trumped everyone else's.
Yeah, going for the 540 flat spin one direction, then unnatural on the 720 flat spin. He set up for the huge spin. He was trying to go for the 1080 flat spin. Cesar was the first to do the 1080. Eito landed it there. Not incredibly pretty, but he landed high enough on the transition with a brand new trick. No one else has done it.
This is the story of the competition. Eito Yasutoko with the flat spin 1080. Cesar Mora was the first one to land a 1080 in competition, so it's interesting that Eito Yasutoko overtakes that #1 ranking with a variation on the 1080.
That makes Eito Yasutoko the champion here, his second big win of the year with a high 88. And if you look at the rankings, he's on top. Yasti moves into the top 5 as well.
練習では結構決まってて、であの技で怪我もして、で大会で決めたことがなかったんで結構びっくりしました。
Accommodations provided by the Ontario Airport Marriott for comfort, convenience, and a whole lot more. When you're in town, this is the place to stay. Little bird's eye view from the Goodyear blimp of Hermosa Beach and Beach Bash. It's the 6th stop of the ASA Pro Tour coming up. The Monsters of Vert. Catch it on ESPN. A very special thank you to the Ontario Mills Mall staff for their hospitality for the ASA Pro Tour. Also to GameWorks, the official restaurant of the event. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com.